I think the first, I try to talk a little bit, and then after, if you have any questions, maybe we leave like a time for questions. As I said before, I'm not going into the details of the let's say we call the subject itself, but more in the form. There is a form and there is a subject of itself. Okay, that's one of the things. Understand? Okay. So, Baruch Hashem, you deal with something very, very important. That's the yesod, the building of the Klal Yisrael. It's al pi tahara, kedusha v'tahara. If there are words that you need me to translate, just let me know. Okay. So there is a very interesting Gemara in Brachos that says that David HaMelech says that Yadav meluchlachot bedam. He had his hands full of blood. And people say there is an explanation. Say, yeah, sure, David HaMelech did a lot of wars. He was a big lochem, he had a lot of wars. So for sure, he had the hands full of blood. And then he says, the Hemshech, the continuation of the Gemara says, David HaMelech says himself, because kechasid ani, because I'm a chassid. Because I'm a chassid, and it's a mizmor in the Tehillim. David HaMelech says, kechasid ani. So what's the connection? That he has his hands full of blood, and he's a chassid. What's the connection between a chassid with the hands full of blood? Okay, we could say, al pi apshat, that sometimes to go to war, it's a mitzvah. It's milchemet mitzvah. So we have to go to war. Ki tetzeh lamilchama lo ivecha. You have to go. But it seems that it's not, that's not what the Gemara wants to say here. And so we ask, so what does it mean? He has his hands full of blood. So then the Mefarshim bring that what was David HaMelech doing? He was the head of a Beis Din. David HaMelech was a king, but he was the Posek Hador also. He was the head of the Beis Din. And he was sitting the whole day kedei letaher isha leba'ala, to check on the bdikas or whatever, and that the lady could be tahor to the husband. And then he says, ki chasid ani, that's why I'm a chassid. So nothing to do with the war, nothing to do with the... It's pashut, he was sitting, he was pasking shilos the whole day. That was David HaMelech, the king, just by himself. He didn't give it over to somebody else, he did by himself. And then he says, ki chasid ani. Then we find in the Tshuvos of the Sheis Yehuda, the brother of the Alter Rebbe, he brings that Gemara, and he says, he asks the question, what's the connection by being a chassid about David HaMelech? And then comes something very, very interesting, that to paskan a shaila, it's not just, as Rabbi Handel Alav Hashem used to say, it's not just a din, a halacha in isur veheter, like you have a problem in your kitchen with the mixing of meat or whatever. So somebody asks a shaila. You ask a shaila, you answer. Could be a shaila in Shabbos, shaila in Taharat HaMishpacha. He says every shaila you have to hear the person talking, and you have to understand it's not only din isur veheter, but it's also din nefashos. That means the person who's asking the question, and I give you thousands of examples. A lot of time I get calls, yeah, when supper time, and I could hear the background what's going on in the house, Baruch Hashem. And pitom, suddenly she has a shaila. There's a shaila, and whatever, the chicken was into the oven, and somebody came, a baby split milk on it, whatever, and then the supper is all gone. And you hear the background, and you hear the way the mother is asking the shaila. You could hear it's a struggle. It's not just time shaila here. So you could say very easily, okay, it's not kosher, and do another chicken. Or you have to take one step back. The rabbi has to take one step back and to hear, to analyze the whole situation. What are what's going to be? And you have to think a little bit what's going to be. So then you have to make the best to try to save the family. So you don't save a chicken, you save a life in a way. Okay? So that's why David HaMelech says, Kechasid Ani. And Sheret Yehuda, the brother of the Alter Rebbe, says why David HaMelech says Kechasid Ani. Not because he's passing just like this, because he's taking the time and to understand what will be if he passes like this or like this, is also is mutar, whatever. So that's why people have to understand that calling a Rav and asking the Shaila, it's not the end of the world, and it's something that we have to teach. I could tell you, I come from a country that Din Tarat HaMishpacha, the Holy HaMishpacha, was, you don't talk about it. You don't talk about it. And when the girl was about to be married, so her mother teach her whatever she knew, and Baruch Hashem, they knew a lot. Even they didn't go to school, whatever they knew about Tarat HaMishpacha was very, very important. But they never came with a shaila. I remember when I got married, the rabbi wasn't in town, Rabbi Edelman wasn't in town, he was the one who was passing the shailas. I went to the Av Beis Din. I was very close to him. So I had a shaila on the marriage. So he looks at me, he tells me, Yedidi, my dear, I never pass on those shailas. They never come to me with those shailas. Never. So the Rabbanim, they even didn't know why. They knew halacha, sure they knew halacha, no question about it. So he told me, you want to ask an halacha, whatever you could ask, but I can't ask them. Why? Because the mentality was like that. The mentality was that you don't ask. It's a lo yafe. It's not nice. You don't go to the rabbi. If you go to the rabbi, you say such a thing. You never. It's not. So you don't ask, and that's it. So what happens? It happens. Okay. She put herself in a nida, even if she doesn't need to, and that's it. For a suffix, for who knows. But today, it's another world, and I must say that even by us, among Chassidim, a lot of things have changed. And if you teach, Carlos, I don't know what kind of people you reach to, you teach to, but the problem is not only outside, it's inside too. And that's why in halacha, bichlal, in general, in halacha, when we teach halacha, I'm saying in every aspect of halacha, when we teach, it's very, very important to teach. This is a din, this is a chumrah, this is a hidur. And sometimes you have people that they think it's an isur gamur, because they were taught it's an isur gamur. And sof it's a minhag, it's a hidur, it's a chumrah. And we have to know where's the line, and that in every aspect, could be in kashrus, could be in everything, and more in this field, much more in this field. Why? I get a lot of calls. I must say, I even get calls from Chassidic communities that they don't want the dayan, the rabbi, to know what they're asking. So they don't say the name. I don't need to know the name, but I understand from the accent. Hungarians, they come from Outremont, they come from why? Because, and they feel that the rabbi doesn't understand. He doesn't understand that. He couldn't understand that, and sometimes they don't want to understand, and it's a problem. It's there. It's a problem. It's a big problem. So that's why it's very, very important when you teach Taras HaMishpacha, you have to teach. This is the Isur, this is a Chumrah, this is a Hidur.
What's the difference between Chumrah and Hidur?
Oh, okay. there is a difference. Let's go. When you have in halacha, you could have a machlokes in halacha, okay? And a lot of times you see that the Rama brings the machmir isabracha. That means a machmir who is more machmir, who goes according to the opinion, who says it's not kosher, let's say. So isabracha. It's a good thing to be machmir. Or he says, he brings, that's the lashon of the Rama, b'derech klal, v'chen nahagnu le'achmir. And that's our minhag, that we are more machmir. I'll give you an example. We know it's nothing to do with this, but it's good just to understand, to have an example. We know that between meat and milk, we have to wait 6 hours, okay? The Mechaber brings 6 hours. 6 hours. The Rama brings 1 hour between meat and milk. There's a minhag, a lot of communities, they keep only 1 hour. I'm not getting into the reasons. There are reasons, the Rambam, the Rashbam, it's a whole thing there. And at the end, the Rama says, "Ubimdinot elu nahagnu le'achmir sheshaot." So, and we, as Ashkenazim, the minhag is to be machmir like 6 hours and not 1 hour. That means, in the fact, in Holland, they keep only 1 hour.
Yeah. Right.
That's minhag Holland. That's the minhag. Ashkenazim, Sfaradim, they keep 1 hour. That's the minhag. It's not an issur, it's not, they have. But according to the Rama, it's very strong that that means we go according to the mechaber that has 6 hours is more machmir. That's a chumrah. A hidur mitzvah, it's between milk and meat. Between meat and milk, it doesn't say nowhere that we have to wait 1 hour. It doesn't say that we wait 1 hour. But it says that you have to wash your hands, you have to drink something, to eat something in between. And there is a hidur to wait an hour. So it's more than a chumrah. So that's the difference between a chumrah and a hidur. When it says somewhere, so it says somewhere. So yeah.
Actual definition, hidur?
Well, the beauty of the mitzvah.
Yeah.
So you want to do the thing with more beauty.
To make it
Yes.
extra, yeah.
Yes.
More.
Under what category would you put, let's say, something that's written in a Igros of the Rebbe, let's say?
Okay. It depends to who the Rebbe wrote. It depends if it's an Horat Rabbim, if the Rebbe talked to somebody specifically, or it's we learn out of it. Sometimes you could see on the Igros that the Rebbe is speaking to somebody very specifically. So it's not for everybody. And you can't say that it talks to me. You can't say. A lot of time, yes. You see that Igros, Mamash, it's you learn from it a lot. But sometimes you can't learn from it and say, okay, I'm going to do the same thing that the Rebbe didn't talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand, Shoel Kadin, Meshiv Kalacha, it depends who asked and what was the question and what. So that's why we had once a Din Torah, very interesting Din Torah. The Din Torah is conflict between two persons, whatever, and they come to the Beis Din. And it's very interesting that the Beis Din was a Litvisher, a Misnaged, one of the Dayanim, a Chassid, and myself. Not the Lubavitcher Chassid, a Chassid. And the two parties were, one was somebody from the Vimy, and one from here. So I asked him, why did you act like that? Why did you do that? So he tells me, I saw in the Igros. So he's telling in front of the Beis Din that he did that because the Igros told him to do that. So I didn't know what to say. The truth, I didn't know what to say. I'm sitting with the Beis Din with other Rabbanim that they halacha is halacha. But okay, he believes. So then the Litvisher Rav, the other Dayan, was very smart, and he stopped. He said, please go out. He asked from both of them to go out, to leave the room. And he turned to us, he says, listen, there's nothing we can do. he believes. It's wrong, what he did, it's completely wrong. But he believes. So if somebody believes, you can't fight against someone who believes. It's very interesting, the way he. So that's why, for sure, the egos is very important. He talks a lot of time to everybody, and sometimes not. That's why we have to go to a mashpia. When we open a letter, we open an egos, and we don't understand exactly, we have to go to a mashpia who understand exactly what we ask, what the person asks in that letter, if it talks to me, doesn't talk to me. So that's why. So you just can't pick a hidur from an egos and say, he talked to me. Who says talk to me? Okay. So according what I see people ask, I see that we have a problem. It's a very serious problem that things are taught, everything is taught like an isur. Like an isur. And there is a problem in that, a big problem. There is a very interesting, the Rama brings, and the Chtam Sofer in the Tshuva, Chtam Sofer brings, that Pischei Tshuva brings the Chtam Sofer on the Rama. And he says like this: there is an inyan, Shabbos, not to put salt straight on the machal, on the food. And it says, Ve'amachmir isa bracha. Whoever is machmir not to do it, so he'll be blessed. Isa bracha, he'll be blessed. So that means it's a chumrah. It says Ve'amachmir isa bracha. So then the Chtam Sofer said to his family, he was sitting, and a member of the family took salt and wanted to put straight. And he tells him, you don't want to be blessed by the Rama? It's kedai to be blessed by the Rama. The Rama says, Ve'amachmir isa bracha. You don't want that blessing? I'm sure you want the blessing. So that means when it says in halacha, Ve'amachmir isa bracha, it's a big thing. We all want the bracha. But sometimes you can't couple with the chumrah. You can't do the chumrah. So it doesn't mean chas v'shalom, it's hepech habracha, it's the opposite of the bracha. You can't say that. That's why I'm going to bring one example. I don't know what to teach, but let's say in the zman of the prisha, yeah? The prisha is the separation. The separation. Before, the separation before in the vestot, whatever, before the oinos. So it says there, I'm going to be clear, we have no choice. It says there that everything is allowed, the only thing that is not allowed to be together. It's halacha. Okay, it's halacha. And then it says, Machmir, whoever wants to be machmir, you shouldn't have any kirba, any
closeness.
Yeah, any closeness, nothing. And the Rama says, Punkt de Rama, says there, Ve'amachmir isa bracha. Okay? So that means, halachically, there is no issue. Halachically, there is no issue. But, okay, there he brings that for sure we have to be very careful because we don't know what's going to bring to lead to, we don't know.
Yeah.
So, but halachically, there is no problem. So I got a call from a lady from the community, not a young lady, but from the community, and she tells me I have a big problem. We have a problem. She has a problem of whatever she needs. She needs affection. She needs a lot of things, and she says it's very hard knowing by the time of the prisha of the separation. My husband cannot hug me. I need the hug. I don't need nothing else. Just the hug. Just the hug. I will. I ask her. Okay. I know the person. Really, I know that she needs. I know that she needs the hug. She needs it. Okay. And she said, but it's asur. So I told her, you know what? It's not assault. What, Rabbi? What do you mean? I'm married for 20 years. For 20 years, we are struggling, and problems of the Shlom Bayis, all kind of problems. And I said, yeah, it's a chumrah. For sure, it's a chumrah. It's a good chumrah to keep. But in what was the problem there? The problem, I come to that. The problem was that she couldn't hold herself in certain situations, and she needed to be hugged. But she was thinking that she is doing a sin, a big sin. So she had on her shoulders, she's doing a sin. So I told her, mutar lach, mutar lach, mutar lach. That means it's not a sin. But I was taught it's a sin. I was taught like that. I said, no, it's not.
But one woman's situation, because I know like once they had been discussing it like between some women and someone had said like, yeah, I got a heter from it, but that wouldn't be for another woman.
No, exactly not.
Yeah, but it needs to be known that a girl has to be taught.
Yeah.
This is tava alav bracha. This is not halacha. If you keep it, this is tava alav bracha. Extra bracha will come to you.
And this is
Well,
all
we're
the
not learning it.
Difficult, you can ask
We're not
her
learning it from the Gemara, so
Okay.
we have it from
It's allowed. You don't have
books
to ask her.
or
It's okay.
whatever.
I would love to.
That's what
What does it say in
custom.
the Sefer?
We
What
don't-
does it say?
But it's not.
What does it say? What's the lashon there? What's
But I
look?
Chumrah
Look it up. You'll see.
I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah, but it's
Does
good
it
that we
say
know
it's
it's
here?
not.
It's written in the calendar.
Chumrah is
It's in the
different.
calendar
It's not a
of
custom.
Lubavitch.
Yes.
Right? It says very clear,
He
tava
writes in
alav
halacha.
bracha.
Okay.
It says very
And
clear.
for those
But
who
my
want to keep a
question is-
So
chumrah,
now we know
something
that Tava
stricter,
al bracha means
bracha
that
will
it's a
come to you.
chumrah.
You know,
Yeah, so it says clearly. It says not halacha. Halacha says this
You're
is
not
like
breaking
the
down.
Rav said. This is forbidden.
that's a good
And
one. So that's
if
what
you
I wanted to know.
refrain
What's
from
the details?
this, and this, tava alav bracha. It's
So,
very clear.
so now we know that that lashon means that it's a
Bracha will
chumrah.
come to you. Yeah. Well, it never says forbidden. Yeah. If it's not there, you
Halachically, during
ask.
that time, do you have to sleep
Clear.
in separate beds? Halachically?
Okay, it's again the same thing.
No, it
Same
says
falls
tava
in the same-
alav bracha.
No,
It's
so
in
but
the
what's
same-
the limit?
Yeah,
It
that's.
says. It says very
It
clear
says
there.
very clear.
You
It
just
says
can't
very
have
clear.
intimate
Very
relations.
clear.
That's it. That's
That-
all.
yeah, yeah,
And
that's
this
all.
Everything else is
Every
an extra
separation.
bracha
This
to
is
take on.
like, can you teach that to someone?
Okay,
Curious,
so
say that to young girls because they could take that as
No, so
No,
that's
it's
what we
very
have.
important
Wait,
to
listen
teach it
for
like
the
you
answer.
said. It's very
Yeah.
important because then you're taking them, and then chas v'shalom, if you don't teach them the truth, then things that are really forbidden, they
exactly.
chas v'shalom do it.
Exactly.
Like
Well,
this,
That's
they-
what happened
that
with
was my
Chava,
next
I
point.
think
That
that's-
was the next point.
Yeah.
So the next point is, I have cases that for them that was a sin. That means they were over a sin. So if I was over that sin, I could be over another sin too.
That's right. Exactly.
And it's not really
And
a
it's
sin.
not really a sin. That was a real
So
sin.
we
they
should
lead
teach
for the
it.
sin.
Yeah, lead it to a
You
sin.
teach it like that. You
Yes,
tell them.
100%.
I have a question. Also, like certain things we take on, if we want to take them off, we have to ask permission, right? Like speak to Rav. Would this fall in that category? Let's say, for example, you sleep with your husband in separate beds during this time, but you went on vacation or you went somewhere and they only had one bed. Is that something you have to like call a Rav and say, this is something me and my husband always do, but during this time, this specific ona, could we sleep in the same bed?
Okay, we understand according to halacha that the ona is very important, but what it says in halacha that then ayot zel derech. It's clear. Ayot zel derech. That means that
when
somebody
you are on the road.
lives.
The what?
When
He's
you are
going,
on the road.
no, he's
No, no, no,
going,
he's going
he's
away.
going away.
He's
Okay,
he's
going
going
on a
away.
trip.
Yeah.
He's
No,
going
saying
on a
you're
trip.
going together.
No, this is
No.
this is talking of
Yeah.
he's
So
leaving.
the halacha says, for sure you can be together, but when he's leaving, at that time, so it's mutar to be together.
Mutter means.
It's permitted. So you understand that.
Maybe you would
So
have,
during the
maybe you
time
would
of
have to call around.
separation, if he's
Exactly.
going out of town, and if
Exactly.
they're
You're
not
allowed to be-
machmir with not being together,
No, they're not allowed to. But in this
oh, you're not
halacha-
allowed to? Wow.
But you know, I know that.
הגם that you are not allowed to, but when he's יוצא לדרך, he פוקד את אשתו. It's clear. It's clear.
You're not permitted to go be together on that. That's one thing that is halacha.
During pre-
And
Intimate
Rav will say
relations.
prisha.
The thing when your husband goes away, I missed that.
But Rav said if he's leaving that night, on the night that you're not allowed to be together,
The ona, the oh.
is that also for the Beinarnis or for the other two?
For the Benanis.
For the venus
And-
also.
Also,
For
you
everything.
have to make a bdika before
you
and
have to
after.
do a
That's it.
batika and after, but you are able
Before-
to be together.
before and
That's
after.
the first
For
time I hear
every
that.
dinner or just
But you're allowed to have
All three.
intimate relations. That's what you mean by being
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
That-
yeah, yeah.
which one is
All
this?
three.
If you
For
find
which
on
one?
the next
All
visit,
three.
and that's your
All
separate.
three?
Yes.
It's a separation night.
You should take advantage because you're not going to see him for a while.
She has to do batika before.
But it's not.
Before and
But
after.
it's not even that you're allowed to. You should be.
It's a
Correct?
mitzvah.
It's
It's
a
It's a
mitzvah.
mitzvah.
It's a mitzvah
So
to
then-
batika. Not that
then-
the Abishur is giving
Whoa.
you permission.
Exactly.
The Abishur.
That's the first time I hear that. Never
that-
heard.
that's-
Things should be printed.
But what is that considered? You're talking about Hiddur.
No, this is
No,
considered a
this
mitzvah.
is a
It's a
mitzvah. It
mitzvah
becomes
to
a
be
mitzvah.
together.
Wow.
And the lashon, the term of the halacha, it says poked tishto. What means poked tishto? It's a mitzvah.
I remember even Rosh Hashanah one time, I called up Rabbi Handel, and it was like have to walk an hour and a half to the mikveh and everything, and it was a speech, and we had a lot of company. So I called up the Rav. At that time, of course, it wasn't an Isser then, it was just that on Rosh Hashanah, if it comes out on the night. So I said to the Rav, is the Eibishter allowing it? Or is the Eibishter telling that this is the way it's supposed to be? So he says, if the Eibishter allows it, and the
That's the way it
Eibishter
has
is
to be.
telling you this is the way it's
That's
supposed to be.
Yeah, and these separation, this is not the 7 white days, obviously.
No, no, no.
No,
This is
seven
the
white
Ona.
days. And the 7 white days, is it strict not to touch and
Completely
everything?
strict.
Completely.
Completely.
Oh,
We're
so
going to
the-
go through it.
everything,
We're going to
yeah.
go through.
So the chumrah is only for
The Ona
The
The
separation.
onus.
Because the Ona is maybe.
right,
It's a suffix.
right.
Yeah.
It's a suffix.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not the needed
Exactly.
consciousness.
And we're only talking about if he's going on a trip.
Yeah,
We're not
exactly.
talking about they just want.
Okay.
But
So-
remember, tavo alav habracha.
But that's
No,
what
this he
This
says in
no.
the mitzvah.
This
No,
is-
no,
That's-
if you go on the way, but bichlal, it's begeder
you're not
tavo
allowed
alav
to.
habracha.
No. But the spaghetti, you're not allowed. Intimate relations is not allowed.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's not allowed.
Not allowed,
Why?
yeah.
Because you chas v'shalom could be suffix
Yeah,
d'oraisa.
yeah.
We're talking
So
about
this is
just
the rest
kindness
idea.
right now.
Yeah,
Not-
yeah.
Nothing else.
The
No,
Ainas
no.
are halacha, Hiddur, which one?
No, the onus is halacha. The
Halacha.
onus is halacha. Why?
Not being
Because-
together during a
Yeah,
night.
because it's
Yeah.
chas v'shalom, it could cause her to be nida, to become a nida, in the middle.
Yeah.
Then it's an issue d'oraisa,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's a suffix d'oraisa. That's why.
And that's chorus, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're going to go through that. We'll go through it. We'll go through what is minhag Yisrael, what is din, what is minhag Yisrael. So,
Interesting.
Good. Okay. So that's why. Then I come to more details that it's very, very important in everything that we have to teach what's called midat chassidus, what's called hidur, what's called chumrah, what's called halacha and isur. And also we have to know who we talk to. Who do we talk to? We understand that we cannot treat everybody the same way. Hagam, that it looks not normal. There's one halacha. I remember that I had a child in my mikveh. We had a new lady who was watching, and Baruch Hashem, she's very good, but she was taught what to do exactly. And she called me that the lady came and she had a problem with the shilak or whatever the new things. I asked details and I told her she could go to the mikveh. 2 days after, she called me with the same shaila, and I asked details on the lady who was traveling, and I told her no, she should go back home. Not here. She should take it off, and that's it. So then she calls me after. Same lady, she calls me after. It's Mamash, it's a mazal that I called you. I was about not to call you because 2 days ago you told me yes. So that's why I'm saying. The Gemara brings En la dayan elama she'nav. That means there is halacha, and you have the one who's going to pass on the halacha. Ve'en la dayan elama she'nav. That means the dayan who's going to pass. What's a dayan? What does it mean, a dayan? A dayan, he has to understand exactly the situation and to be done which way to take, which way to go. That's a dayan. So that's why we understand that it depends on the person. It depends who's asking. That way today you have all kinds of, you call me a lot with shadows, yeah? And you see that it depends on the person, it depends who's there, we have situations like, let's say I'm going to go to the extreme of the situation. We get calls that a Kala who's getting married is not from, but she wants to go to the mikvah. She wants to go to the mikvah. And she decided to go to the mikvah, and she calls the mikvah. Nobody knows her, nobody knows who she is. She's getting married on Sunday, she wants to go to the mikvah on Shabbos. So sometimes we ask, did you do the Zayin Nekim? Did you nothing? She did nothing. So the question is what to do. And the worst that I had last week is a lady, the lady called me, the mikvah lady called me. She said, there's a lady who wants to go to the mikvah. She's getting married this week to a goy, to a non-Jew, and she wants to go to the mikvah. I said, I have a very nice story about it. I don't know, some of you remember Rabbi Nizhny Kalavasham. Okay. He was the Av Bezdin here, and he had a tenant, a lady. She was a tenant, and her daughter was dating a goy, and she was about to get married to the goy. And the night before, he hears a lot of noise and singing and dancing, and so he went out to the porch to check what was going on. So he meets the tenant, the lady. What's going on tonight? See, Rabbi, she's getting married tomorrow. She went to the mikvah tonight. Rabbi, you don't know that? She has to go to the mikvah? That means... And at one point, he was like, she's not normal, this lady. Well, she's getting married to a goy. And then he held himself. And he said, he told me the story. He said, it's very sad, but he said, Ashrechem Israel. That means he lucky the Kedusha of Bnei Israel. So you have two ways to look at it. Two ways. Either you say that I'm a sugarant, or you say, no, there's something there.
You feel something.
I had that question. Not last week, but maybe 2 years ago. The same shaila, same question. And I don't know why, but Hashem put words in my mouth. If he did last week to Bilham Aton, so he could do in my mouth too. So I said, let her go to the mikvah. And the lady told me, Rabbi, she's getting married to a goy. Let her go to the mikvah. And who knows, maybe the kedusha of the mikvah will pour something on her. That came out of my mouth. Okay, I didn't hear.
And did she make a bracha or she didn't?
No, I told her without the bracha, for sure. No bracha, she didn't do say nekim, she didn't do nothing. What a bracha? Sure. Yeah, I told the lady, make sure she doesn't say bracha. And 2 weeks after, she calls me, the mikvah lady calls me. You can't believe what happened. You can't believe what happened. That lady, that young lady, who went to the mikvah, called her and to tell her, I want to thank you for letting me go into the mikvah, even though I told you I'm getting married to a goy, but when I went inside the mikvah, I felt something, that I'm dying. That's the word she said, that I'm dying and I'm somebody new. And she was mevatel the whole thing.
Wow.
She was mevatel the whole
Me
thing.
too.
It's maaseh she'aya. Kach haya. So that's why we have to be very, very careful. And you mentioned Rabbi Handel a lot of times that the ladies, they called, no Shiva Nekim, nothing. He said, let her go to the mikvah. Let her go. She has to go. And then maybe something will happen from there. So that's why we have to be very careful who we deal with. When Baruch Hashem, I do a lot of weddings. And at one point, I said to myself, maybe it's not for me to do non-frum weddings. It's very hard. Even if I ask from the Kala that she has to be covered, and the mothers, and Baruch Hashem, they respect, but it's very hard. But one thing is that it's at night, and today in the Rabbanut Harashit in Eretz Yisrael, you cannot get married if you don't bring, you could be not from a kibbutz, from wherever you are from, but you have to bring a letter that you learn Tarat HaMishpacha, the Chassan and the Kala. If not, they won't marry you.
I got married in Israel.
What?
I got married in Israel.
Yeah, okay. So you have to bring that. If not, I don't. And Baruch Hashem, I do this here. Whoever would be frum, not frum, you want me, that's the tnai. That's a tnai. So I have Baruch Hashem few ladies. I send my wife teachers and others, and she does it just as we say L'Shem Shamayim, just to bring them. And Baruch Hashem, we have seen a lot of Yeshuas like that. So at one point I said, maybe I want to stop doing weddings, performing weddings. So I spoke to a friend of mine who used to be chief rabbi he used to be the chief rabbi of Israel, now he's chief rabbi of Yerushalayim, Rav Shlomo Amar, who's very close. He's a Talmid Lubavitch, he learned in Lubavitch by himself, so he's very close to Chabad, very close to the Rebbe. And I told him, listen, it was my house. I told him, I want to stop. And he looks at me, tells me, I'm sure when you perform a wedding, you send them to learn Tarat HaMishpacha, yeah? Yeah, sure, no question about it. He tells me, I'm sure you asked a letter from the mikvah that she went to the mikvah. I say, yes, I asked the letter. So he tells me, mitzvah alecha. You can't stop. You can't stop that. You have a responsibility in the city. You have to do it. You can't stop. That's why, again, we have to know who we deal with. That's why when you teach, you have to know who you are teaching to. And sometimes you don't have to get into too many details. You just give the main lines, and then you bring
So what is the main lines? What's the minimum?
Okay, you'll go through. I'm not going now into all the details, but you'll go through that. So there's a lot to say. There's a lot to. But I have 15 minutes left, so maybe if you have any questions,
Can you say that there are shilas that come up very often or don't come up often enough to suggest that what college teachers should be teaching their students things that they should be asking or things perhaps don't have to be asked?
Okay.
Just based on your
There is a
experience.
big chlishus on bdikas.
Weakness.
On the bdikas. The weakness. Mamash, a big weakness. Even by frum people, and they forget that Mamash, it's a big problem. I had once Shaila like this, that a frum lady, a Sfardish lady, very frum. She had young kids, and she went to the mikvah. It's a long time ago, so I didn't have my mikvah yet. So she went to the mikvah in the city, and she calls me, the mikvah lady calls me, that she forgot the bdika, to do the bdika, the checking before going to the mikvah.
On day 7.
Yeah, on day 7, she forgot. And she wasn't sure about the first one, it's a building. And then she's talking to me, and the husband is calling me. Harav, you know that she's at the mikveh. What's going to be? What's going to be? I felt he's anxious, very anxious. So okay, I'm taking care of it. So I told the lady, I asked her questions, Shilas, and I said, let her go to the mikveh. She could go. It's not a biuda. It's not lechatchila. It's a b'di evet. And what's the b'di evet? That's very interesting. It applies also on chtzitza. The halacha says that sometimes when she went already to the mikvah, she dipped herself and she went back home, and they were together, then she feels that she has a chtzitza, or she realized that she missed a bdika or checking or whatever. So halacha says, not in everything, that im lanta et sebala, ilo tarzor. That means if they were together already, she doesn't have to go back to the mikvah. And sometimes she has to go back to the mikvah. Okay. So I told her, go deep, וזהו. Then she calls me back 5 minutes after. She tells me, the mikvah lady doesn't let me tell her. So why? She called her rabbi. And her rabbi said, don't let her. She'll come back tomorrow. So then the lady who was supposed to dip was upset. She told, I didn't ask you to call your rabbi. He's not my rabbi. My rabbi told me I could go, I go. So then she says, no. He said, not to go, you don't go. So I called the rabbi. It was 11. It was in the summertime, very late.
Wow.
I called the rabbi. I told him, I don't understand. What do you mix in here? And he tells me, yeah, I called Rabbi Wozner. Rabbi Wozner said she shouldn't. I said, he didn't understand you, and you didn't understand him. Okay? So let her go. It was an action, mamash an action. So I saw there is nothing to. So I called Kotsanluk. It was 11:30 already. It was closed. I called the lady. Said, please open the mikveh. Lady is coming to the mikveh. And Baruch Hashem, she went to the mikveh. So the next day, in the city, went a big thing that Rabbi Banon let the lady go to the mikveh shelo kadin. I said, no, I have no problem. Let them say whatever they want to say. And okay. So they brought the shaila. They brought it in a kollel. And you know, when you bring shaila in the kollel, so everybody becomes a big mumche and everything, a big expert, and everybody's, you know. So Rabbi Posen, you know Rabbi Posen, walked into the kollel, and they said, you know what happened yesterday? You know what happened? So as soon as he heard my name, he said, I don't need to know what happened, but whatever he said, I'm asking with him. I'm asking whatever he said. What happened? In halacha it says, and then you have to be very careful and it says like this. We said before that if she was together with the husband, she doesn't need to go back to the mikveh. That means if she wasn't together, she needs to go back. But there's a very interesting Noda Yehuda who says, being together is lav dafka being together. If the husband knows that she's going to the mikvah, it's called being together, like they were together. And that was the opening. That was the opening in halakha. So that's why we have to understand it's dine nefashos. Yeah, we play and we think. It's very, very easy to say yes or no, to say asur. It's very easy. Who knows? Maybe a neshama has to come. I'm going to be the one. You know, the David HaMelech says that ma me'akev HaMashiach. What's the ikov of the Mashiach? That we have to bring more neshamas and more neshamas, the tikkun of neshamas, and I'm the one could be me'akev the Mashiach, chas v'shalom. So if there is an opening, there is an opening. In halacha, if there is no, there is no. So again, you have to understand who you are talking to, who's asking. That's why we have only one Shulchan Aruch. Not two Shulchan Aruch, one. But we have also to know that Shulchan Aruch is very open or very close, it depends. So that's why by frum ladies, you have to teach lechatchila, no question about it. They shouldn't go with shilek, they shouldn't go with but non-frum ladies, or the ladies who are becoming, you know, they're becoming to keep the asa mishpacha, so then there's a way to be making. But lechatchila you have to teach, no question about it. So that's why I sent back the second lady. I sent her back. She should learn from it. There's no way she should go to the mikvah with makeup or with whatever. So, yes.
If you're teaching a not from Kala, and she's deciding whether or not to go, because very often the Kala's not sure, they're going to go for their wedding because they have to, but then they're not sure if they're going to keep it after. If you start teaching them about the anais and everything, it's a big scare. I mean,
yes.
So
yes.
what's the minimum? I know that you said like if they're not living together, not nice. But even that is like would be very
So
traumatic for
again,
them.
well, I think that you have to go through, and like you, when you teach to non-frum, you have to teach the basics, really the basics. And if you see, but you have to tell her there is more.
Exactly.
There's more.
You have to tell there is more, and I'm ready to help you after the wedding. Come back and to help you, and but then you go, go
That's
through
right.
the
Just go
basics.
once and have that
and-
amazing
Sometimes they
experience.
become Bali Tshuva,
Yeah.
and then they learn from a Lubavitcher.
They don't
And then
know.
they're
They- they
surprised
learn
that they can
everything.
do that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
How about the other way? I got to say we'll learn a lot of halachas. I'll tell you what the minimum is.
And you go slowly.
It all depends how much time you have with them. Most Friar girls, you don't have so much time.
You
to
have
come
2
to
hours,
us.
3
And
hours.
your main
And they're
goal is
stressed
get them
and
into the
not-
mikvah.
Exactly.
If you have that relationship, yes, if you want to have longer, you could teach more. You tell them that.
okay.
I'm just wondering, like, should we teach people to ask everything all the time? Because, like you're saying, every situation, even for that same person, could be different. Maybe one time for them was no, this time will be yes. Like, should we not? Or sometimes, like, the fact that they have to call Rav so much often could make them
Okay,
more
I
stressful,
suggest
no?
that they should call the Kala teacher.
Okay.
The first,
She should tell them.
yeah, and then the Kala teacher should tell her, I call for you, or you'll call, whatever,
What's the role of a bodeket that we have Mrs. Hershkovich in our community? When should somebody go to her before speaking to a Rav, or does a Rav tell a woman, go
No,
check it
no,
out?
the Rav tells the woman to go. Yeah, and she knows she's not a poisek, and it's good that she should know. She's very good,
She's very
but
she's
she's very good. She's excellent, but still, everybody has to know there is another one in Utrumot. She's very good also, Mrs. Poggers. So when Mrs. Hershkovich is not in town, we send to Mrs. Poggers. She's very good too. She speaks French, English, Hebrew, Yiddish, so she's good. But the Bodekes should know that the Rav sent to her. And she must get back to the Rav. And it's very important that.
I'm going to ask a question that I don't have myself, or maybe I do, that has been asked to me. Why can't a woman learn the halachos like a Rav does to be able to be a paisek? I've been asked that question. I
I've
guess
heard
I'm
that
a little
question.
more liberal, but I don't have an answer to that.
That's יועצת הלכה. יועצת
No,
הלכה.
but they
So
don't
yoetzet,
make
but it's
halacha.
not-
They
no,
don't.
they don't-
only yoetzet
They only
halacha.
yoetzet. They
Okay,
don't
so
get,
let me go.
paskin halacha.
With all due respect. Okay.
The question was asked with all due respect.
Yeah. To be a poisek, you cannot just be a poisek from the Shulchan Aruch. You have to know Rishonim, Achronim. You have to know the Gemara, the basics. We go from the bottom to we go up. So, like this. The background of, she could be even a Rabbanit, a Rebbetzin, but it's not the same background. What she learned in Beswifka, what she learned, it's not the same background that we learn in yeshiva, in the kollel, and b'derech klal, whoever becomes a poisek is because he did shimush also with a poisek, with another poisek, and so it's a long way. It's a really long way, and you have to have the background.
It's not like you could
So
just.
is it
But in
more-
Israel,
but
there's a
isn't-
new thing.
But
But
from
isn't-
a practical perspective, that it's
It's
just
not.
not so
It's
shayach?
not.
Like,
It's
is it-
not.
could
Yeah,
it be shayach?
practical is not shayach.
But
Because now in
okay,
Israel, there are
so-
women who
No,
are
no.
learning.
Okay,
to
I put
become
it very
rabbis.
simple. Very, very simple. Someone could be a heart doctor before being a doctor? Before learning just the basics to be a family doctor?
No.
No? Okay, that's the answer.
But there's nothing in halacha that says that a paisik has to be a man. Is it just because of the background, or
dayan.
isn't there a diet?
It doesn't has to be a man. A Rambam, clear.
Yeah, it has to be a man. That's part of the halacha, is that it has to be a man.
Yeah, no, but the posik is not a dayan. No, it's two things.
No.
To sit in the Beis Din, on a Beis Din, and to be a dayan on a Beis Din, has to be a man. That's how Rambam speaks about it. We are not talking about a poisek who is a poisek.
Like, let's say a
Nothing to do
woman
with
who
the dayan.
checks.
Understand?
And it doesn't say specifically that a paisik has to be a man?
It doesn't say, but it's obvious.
Wasn't Deborah
Why-
one
why-
of the shaitan?
Oh, was she a paisik?
Well,
She
said
wasn't
at
the person.
time, what she do? It
Yeah.
says, what she do.
She would teach them and
She would teach.
Teach.
Yeah.
I'm just asking
Yeah.
someone to say.
So that's why you, And also there's another issue here that again, with all due respect, a lady beside in kashrus and in Taras HaMishpacha cannot be an ed, cannot be a witness. Why? Why?
Too emotional?
And it's also not
Exactly.
covered for.
Exactly. It's too tough. The lady saw that he was killing.
A witness
She saw.
in
She has the
court.
same eyes
Right.
as a man. Yeah, maybe better eyes.
Because they're
Who knows?
not just logical.
But the Torah didn't want to put her in that position. So a posek is like this. A posek has you can't
It's
be
very
posek.
strict
Yeah,
if you say
Yeah,
Very
you
that
can't.
scary,
You
exactly.
can't.
Who wants
You
that
can't.
responsibility?
And that's why I come back with what I said in the beginning, that the Sheis Yehuda, the brother of the Alter Rebbe, said that a posek, when he's done the halacha, when he has to be posek, he has to know that he wants to make Hashem happy. He has to make Hashem happy. Whatever they will do, whatever they do, Hashem has to be happy. So it's not an easy thing. That it's not just you posek yes, no, kosher, treif, or whatever. There is a din in Chulin, very interesting din in Chulin, that for sure we understand if the cow is not kosher and the shochet said it's kosher, we understand it's very bad. And it's a big issue. The same issue is when the cow is kosher and the shochet says it's not kosher. Exactly the same issue. So we ask, what?
I'm
Yeah.
saying they said something like that in the chapters you made us read.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, according to the Pshat we understand, but according to Chassidus it's very interesting. Said why? Because okay, you say it's not kosher, it's not kosher. What's the big deal? So the big deal is maybe this cow had a tikkun somewhere. There's a gilgul. Who knows? And then you are monea, because of you said it's not kosher, it's not coming to a Jewish table. We are not saying a bracha on it. Maybe it has to be in Seudat Shabbos and Cholant, who knows? What's the tikkun? Maybe? Who knows? So that's why we have to be very, very careful. And in this field also, it's the same thing. If it's mutar, it's mutar. If it's asu, it's asu. You can't play. You can't just, by emotions, it doesn't work.
I have a question. I learned when I took a course, it wasn't until until Lubavitch Rabbanim, and they said that if a woman has a very difficult time doing a batika, like it really, really hurts, then she is able to wet it, squeeze it out very well, and then do it. So, but then I had called a Lubavitch Rav about it, and he said no, that she can't. So I asked the Rav if she's in a lot of pain, mamish, for like 3-4 hours after.
Okay. There is no problem, even to use a jelly.
That's
Not,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I discussed it once with Rabbi Handel, and he was also 100% for it. To use the jelly, there is no problem.
Okay. Also, a few people I've come across that Sfard Rabbanim give the women permission to go Friday Erev Shabbos when they're supposed to really go Friday night.
Okay.
So,
Okay, that's not. It's a very good Sfadish Rabban Rav
yeah.
who learned from an Ashkenazi posek.
Yeah. I only heard it if I with the started.
It's a Stam Sofer. Stam Sofer brings that b'shas adchak, when there is like
Say the
Friday
fashions.
night or
Yeah.
So there is a way to go, even if it's not Friday. Could be during the week too. It happens. You could do 7 day by day, as late as possible, close to the Shkia or whatever. But there is at night,
Not to tell the husband.
not to tell the husband that she
Until
went to the
night.
mikvah. He knows that she
Right,
went.
right.
She's going, but not to tell him and not to see him. Not to see him
Wow.
Right.
Until after nightfall.
until after nightfall. And if there is no way, because it's impossible, so at least shouldn't be yichud. At least.
But
What
Okay.
is
my
it, what
question
does
is,
it take? Is that like a halacha?
but I would,
that's
yeah, let's,
given,
with
or-
Lubavitchers, would we do such a thing
Okay,
even with
so
Lubavitchers?
I had one case a long time ago that a lady from France, a Lubavitcher from France, called me. And she was here, Shavuos, and whatever, she had to go to the mikveh. It was too late, she was far from a mikveh, whatever. And I told her, you can't. So she screamed at me. She said, why, Rabbi Pevsner allows me to go. So even for Lubavitchers, if there is a need, but it has to be a need, not stam because
It's more convenient.
she wants to have makeup, or take off makeup, whatever, that's not. But when it's far from the mikveh, or all kind of.
What happens if you had like a close friend's
and-
wedding?
No, that's not.
That's not a good
No, it's
excuse.
not a good
No,
excuse.
that's not a good
Sorry,
excuse.
it's not a good excuse.
You would have to leave your good friend's
It
wedding.
would
People
mean
would
that
know.
it's
There's so
I
much.
guess the only thing would be if it's a Friday night and you can't go to the mikvah on
You
Shabbos,
can't walk, or it's
you can't
far,
walk,
or-
and it would just make you postpone it for a whole day.
Or it's a shlucha shaila that she was having Friday night meal with all kind of students and she couldn't go. The mikvah was Friday night. She couldn't leave the house and
But
or
would it be better to,
not to postpone.
no, would it be
What?
better, like, it did happen by me a few times,
Okay.
so I ate the meal, and then afterwards, 11:30 at night, I walked
Okay.
an hour and a half.
Okay.
And now
Which is
Uh,
better? Is it better, or is it the same?
If it's birde sheyaseh, if it's not a big tircha, let's say, for the family, okay, so then it's better to wait. If it's a tircha, it's very difficult.
It wouldn't
so
work by
there's
me.
no reason why
I
not to
can't
be
walk an
samech
hour and a half.
on the Stam Sofer.
That's
It's
very
clear.
interesting.
It's very clear. But then you have to have a heter
You have to call the Rav.
to call her out. That for sure. And
Very interesting.
the all the mikvahs they know that the lady will let only if there is a heter from her.
My question is, when do young girls know to call a Rav and when not to call a
That's
Rav?
what's part of the teaching.
I'm saying that.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
they're
part,
not
it's part
sure,
of
they
the teaching.
Even if
You
they
say anytime a
say-
situation comes up, that's not usually
Right.
you always
Yeah,
ask
and
you
I
for
would
your
suggest
decision.
you cannot
Or they
say
call
your
teacher and
heart.
call teacher will guide
Is
them.
that if anyone who just finds it uncomfortable or it's irritating, or do you have to ask a shiloh to have that as a heter? Is it like I'm saying? How
Yeah,
do we know?
I-
Like, it's
like-
all confusing.
Let's say, would I have to call a Rav to ask for her to wed it? No, you don't have to, you just tell her.
Don't
I'm
have
saying,
to,
how do
just
we know
tell
when
them.
it's something
So
that
you, because you do teach.
If she
her.
tells
You
you,
teach.
she-
If it's
Some things you
uncomfortable,
just
it's something you
know.
teach.
I think that
No, but that is part of
Time
what
you
you
learn to
teach, that
know.
if it's really difficult, then you are allowed to, it is written here.
Okay, so I'm just saying like this is, I'm just saying, I'm imagining, I don't know, I don't know, it's not very clear. Sometimes also you read in from even like English books, it's like very strict, and then you call the rabbi and he's like, oh, it's not a problem. Even let's say, for example, after the Einai, so in the some sarm it says you should do badikas after, so if you have a long cycle, you could have, but really, I think
We don't
from what I
hold that
understood, we
anymore.
don't hold that. So I'm
Right,
saying,
we
it's
don't
very hard to know when to ask, so should we just like, as I'm saying, is there any way to know? Is there any get
It's very difficult to know.
As a
to-
teacher.
That the kind of teacher
Yeah.
will
Just-
have to. I think that's part of this. That's the
Can I ask a
reason.
very specific question?
The last one. I have to leave.
Yeah, Amanda, you wanted to ask about Shalak. You wanted to ask. No, but to speak
So
about
ladies, I think
it.
you'll all appreciate the question.
Well,
The mikveh does not sell black panty liners anymore. It seems that there are some halachic issues with that, so I'm asking about the non if there's a problem.
Okay. Again, it depends. You have ladies; they have a lot of problems of stainings and. Okay, so there is a machlokes about a lining if it's bichlal davar mekabel tuma or not. Could be white or color. Can become- So according to a lot of poskim, I know that Rav Farkash is machmir. That Bichlal is a machmir. He's Yerushalmi, and we know that he's a machmir. He got shimush for the big machmirim, the big kanaim in Me'asharim, so we know. And but we paskin that it's not davar mekabel tuma, even if it's white. Well, it's paper. It's not. It's not.
So if you have a white pad.
It's complete a pad.
You use a white pad, it also doesn't make you a nida.
Really?
So
Same
if
way.
it's someone who has
So that doesn't
problems,
make you feel.
if it's someone who has a lot of problems or whatever, so we tell them to wear that. It's better to avoid any
Either color?
either color,
Either.
What do you, even white?
Mhm.
even white.
But it's more encouraged to black?
Mhm.
But why would be a
Lav
question
dafka,
for
I don't
different
hold it.
color?
I
It doesn't really.
Because it's not on
I
white.
guess it maybe makes the woman not feel so
If it's
bad.
black.
Like,
But she doesn't see it, so she
doesn't know
she's
she's
maybe,
doing that.
Just
maybe.
go crazy.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Does the woman feel guilty?
Just not look,
Right, but the Rav says
Aren't
that
you not supposed
you
to
can
look?
tell the woman it doesn't make a difference. You don't have to worry.
That's why we're not supposed to
and
look.
again, in
It
that,
doesn't work.
we are talking
I
about
know.
this also.
Yeah.
Those kind of ladies, you have to teach them. That's very important. Becomes always, comes back always the same problem. Never look at the tissue. It's a big problem. Never. I can't.
It's very hard to
Don't
teach women
look.
that.
Yeah.
Somebody
It
once
saves.
said,
It helps.
does it help to wear tinted glasses? I'm not joking. Somebody asked
I
this.
didn't.
Is the problem on what you're seeing if somebody wears sunglasses where the color is not color?
Oh.
Good idea.
Every time you go to the washroom, you're saying?
Yeah.
You keep them by your end
Yeah.
table.
You keep them in the
Discotheque.
I would say it's the same. Not to look at it.
Some women have a problem, can't help it.
What if something else catches your eye? Not looking,
Is it a
should better go
suggestion?
So it's
Once
a
you
way.
see it,
It's
that's
a, it's
it,
a way
you're-
to save the problem.
Just like,
But once you see it,
Once
you're
you're-
Oh, that's,
You
I,
see
thought
it,
I,
you're-
I have a question.
In
When
the
you see, you
in
have
the
to ask.
water, in the water also.
You have to ask. Then you have to ask.
If you're wearing sunglasses, so the color is not color,
It's
so
not-
you
yeah.
can tell it's something. Is it still a shiloh? Then it's no shiloh.
It's less a shiner. So what you see, it's not a shiner.
you have to keep your sunglasses on the whole time.
Also,
No, I'm saying
Tata, I have
until
a-
after you ask the Shiloh.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
have to ask the shiloh, you don't have to ask the shiloh.
You have to ask.
You don't have to ask.
You
You
have
are
to
funny
ask.
though.
Doesn't save the problem. It doesn't save the materials. When you don't see, you don't see. Okay.
What was your
I have to
question?
leave. So.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
Thank
so
you,
much.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Great. Rabbi, could we have the rabbi coming again, like